A Sacramento freeway buckles under the strain of our first 100-degree day of the year. How long will the hot weather be with us? We'll have a series of live reports next.
We'll also find out why our wet winter is music to the ears of Northern California boat dealers.
Plus a clue tonight as to why lawmakers may beat the July 1st budget deadline.
Stay with us now. Channel 3 reports the primetime news. Next.
This is KCRA-TV, the home of Live Copter 3.
Prepare to be impressed.
We are supposed to say that at the end.
Hey, only Ford has the #1 truck in America, the Ford F-150, and
Men are so impatient.
the #1 car, the Ford Taurus.
It's the 4th of July. Only your Ford dealer has 5 of the 10 best sellers in America, including America's #1 car, the Ford Taurus, and America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150.
Only your Ford dealer has 5 of the 10 best sellers in America.
Very impressive. Now, how do we end the commercial?
How about prepare to be impressed?
They're coming. Free samples of Miller Sharps. It's the Sharps Great Taste Invitational. So sampling trucks and booths are appearing everywhere, serving up all the crisp, refreshing taste of a great beer without all the alcohol. To get your free taste of the great taste of Sharps, look for one of these or one of these. They're heading your way.
Hey, few things in life
are free.
And they're usually something
you don't want. I'm telling you.
Everybody and their dog is gonna want these.
Free French fries?
Are they nuts?
Buy a classic double cheeseburger
And get free fries. Life is really good.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m., and you're watching KCRA-TV, where the news comes first, with Stan Atkinson, Carol Bland, weather with Shelley Monahan, Walt Gray on sports,
home of Live Copter 3 and Northern California's #1 news team. This is Channel 3 Reports.
Topping the news tonight, congratulations to you. You have survived our first 100-degree day of this year. But there are many more of them ahead this summer. Take a look at how the temperature climbed in downtown Sacramento today. At 6 this morning, it was 71 degrees. By 10 o'clock, the mercury had climbed to 87. At noon, it was 76. We hit the century mark at 2:30, and an hour later, we topped out at 104 degrees. Then the temperature started to drop, but ever so slowly, as you'll notice if you've stuck your head outside tonight. Of course, sweltering afternoons in Northern California can lead to some very warm nights, and tonight is no exception. Channel 3's Kelly Brothers is out talking to people who are trying to relearn the art of keeping cool, and he brought his own air conditioning system along, I can see.
I have indeed, Stan. I'm out here at the Sacramento softball complex where it is a perfect night for softball, but there is one downside that I should warn you about as if people need to know, and that is the bugs. We turned on the light over here just a moment ago, and a trillion bugs. There's more bugs out here than a Watergate complex. This is like a Spielberg movie. But it is indeed a great night for softball, and there are many modern ways to stay cool in California these days. A lot of people have their own built-in pools, central air conditioning, and what about frozen yogurt? But of course, the old-style way to stay cool, in Sacramento anyway, is Merlino's. Merlino's Fresh Fruit Freeze, a Sacramento tradition for decades that began back at the old state fairgrounds.
Well, I remember when I was a little kid about all the traffic cops parked right there at the main gate. That place would be 50, 100 people deep sometimes, crowded around that little orange building.
And when it gets as hot as it did today, 104 degrees in downtown Sacramento, that tradition is revived.
My son and I drove by this one earlier today at about 3 o'clock, and the line was so long that we just didn't stop. So that's why we're back here tonight.
How do you beat the heat? Firemen use hoses, road crews stay in the shade. UCD even has a special bed to revive heat stroke victims. But for Julio and Elena Payne, it's the simple pleasures. An evening chat in front of the home they've shared for 50 years.
We had ice cream and a chocolate ice cream a little while ago, and we might have some more after a while.
And you're completely comfortable right now?
Fine.
But it was not a fine evening for commuters. The temperatures caused Highway 160 to buckle. just as the evening commute was gathering steam. Tonight, work crews were repairing the damage and should have the highway open again within the hour.
The semi-permanent repair, and that should be it. It should hold for at least a couple of years, hopefully, if nothing else happens to it.
And of course, we're wondering, is this heat going to stick around? It is still an oven outside tonight, literally. Well, Shelley Monahan is standing by live in the Weather Center. She's going to let us know how hot it is right now and whether or not we have to contend with these hot temperatures over the weekend, too. Oh, there you are, Shelley.
Yes, unfortunately, we are going to have to contend with not only the hot temperatures, but the bugs as well, at least for the next couple of days. Let's look first of all at today's high temperatures. As Kelly mentioned, we reached a high in downtown Sacramento of 104 degrees, 101 in Marysville, Yuba City, also 101 in Stockton, up to 102 in Fairfield and Modesto. And our high of 104 came very close to tying the record of 105 set back in 1945. Our normal high for today, just 89 degrees. Now, the one thing that we are awaiting patiently is the return of the southwest Delta breezes. These pictures taken just a few hours before sunset in San Francisco off the Golden Gate Bridge, and you can see what's happened here. The marine layer is moving back in, the low cloudiness and fog, and with it, the southwest Delta winds. Now, right now, the Bay Area is enjoying a very comfortable evening. They've started to cool significantly. Here in the valley, we're going to have to wait a day or so before we see any significant cooling, but the rate things have been going, I think we'll take it as soon as we can. We'll have a look at your entire forecast for the weekend and beyond coming up in just a few minutes. Carol, Stan, back to you.
So eventually those breezes will work their way up to Sacramento. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Come up the Carquinez Straits and come on in and make us feel much, much better.
If they could only do that in the next 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
It is so hot outside, I can't believe it.
You know, it's amazing, too, because the humidity is very low, but it's so stifling this time of night to step outdoors and have it this hot that it almost feels muggy to you. So, yeah, kind of uncomfortable, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And we're just not used to it.
Yeah, not at all.
Thank you, Shelley. We'll see you just a bit. If you are trying to beat the heat, by the way, we have some tips to give you, and we'll fill you in on those in just a bit. Meantime, a lot of Northern Californians are choosing to cool off on the rivers and the lakes, and some are doing it in their brand new boat. Boat sales are way up this spring. Channel 3's Lisa Breckenridge joins us live from along the Sacramento River at Miller Park with details. Is that right? Or should we go? There she is. Okay,
Hi, Carol.
Lisa.
Yeah, we're here at the Sacramento Marina, and take a look behind me. There are just no empty slips here, and that's a pretty good indicator of what's going on in the boating industry in Northern California. Finally, after many, many lean years of not doing too good of a business, the boating business is picking up. This year, Northern California's rivers and lakes aren't just full of water, they're also full of boats.
Okay, let's come on the boat with us.
And people like Nancy Nunez, who decided this was the year to buy a boat.
And I just kept thinking, with the water the way it is, I love being on the water. And I couldn't imagine going the whole summer without having something. I've wanted one for a long time.
Nancy's not alone. Many boat dealers in Northern California report sales are up between 20 to 50% this year. And here at Harbor Marine, the new boats are already gone.
Basically, very amazed. The boat sales in the last 2 weeks have just taken off.
That's welcome news for boat dealers. In 1989, sales started sinking because of the economy, the federal luxury tax, and the drought. At the boat works during the past 3 years, sales dropped from $500,000 to $100,000 a year.
More rain, more water, more boats. It's here, so sales are picking up rapidly.
For example, this 19.5-foot recreational boat goes for about $17,500. In past years, it might not have sold, but this year, people are forking over the cash.
They've saved the money the past 3 or 4 years, and now they're spending it. A lot of them are cash buyers. Financing is not as up as it was.
So even though California's economy remains sluggish, this year, at least there's water. Now, even though locally the outlook looks pretty good that the sales are resurfacing, nationwide the outlook is a little bit gloomy for boat sales. Stan and Carol, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Those tips we were talking about a moment ago, if you are trying to beat the heat indoors, we have a few tips that might help you out. First, be sure to close your windows and draw the blinds during the day. That helps to keep the cool air in and the hot air out. If you have an air conditioner, set the thermostat to 78 degrees, SMUD advises, or higher. You'll save 10% on your bill for every 2 degrees of comfort that you're willing to give up. And try giving your appliances a rest, especially in the afternoon. If you do have to cook, use the microwave instead of the conventional oven, or go to Carol's or something.
Well, what? That's C-A-R-R-O-W-S.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was just worried there might be some confusion. Anyway, what if you already use your microwave all the time? You know, as a lot of people do. Yeah. There could be a major break in the state budget battle this weekend. We'll explain more about that as the primetime news continues.
Also, are professional athletes role models? And if so, should they be? We'll explore that issue in a special assignment report coming up.
Plus, Ellie Nesler back in the Tuolumne County courtroom today. We'll tell you what happened there.
I am the host. I am recognized by many as one of the best talk show hosts in the world.
KFBK, AM 1530, Sacramento's news station.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, you'll find that some of our most popular styles are in 1 minute and out the next. Right now, every price on every recliner is so hot, it's practically sizzling. Announcing Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's Hot Seat Sale. Hurry in before we put this offer on ice.
Get our most popular styles while they're hot at the Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery now.
The Ford Escort is America's best-selling small car. Almost ready? It's packed with options at a great low price.
Almost ready.
Air, AM, FM, power mirrors, all for just $10,499.
He talks, I pack.
Choose the 3-door, the 4-door,
Oh!
the 5-door,
Stay.
or even the wagon. 4 Escorts, one low price, just $10,499. See your Ford dealer and prepare
To be impressed.
2 a.m. at my sister's house. I woke up hungry, so I went downstairs for a bowl of cereal. I was half awake and really didn't know what I was eating, but it was good. I saw it was multi-grain Cheerios. 4 different kinds of O's, each a different grain, a different taste. Must be healthy, but I like it.
The multi-good taste of multi-grain Cheerios. Discover it for yourself.
Then I was awake, and so I had another bowl.
Paramount Pictures presents Tom Cruise in the motion picture suspense thriller of the year. What are you doing here?
If we run, they find us.
Your life as you know it is over. The Firm, rated R, starts Wednesday, June 30th everywhere.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Chicago Bulls missed their chance to three-peat tonight, but they are already preparing their city for a victory, just in case that happens a little later. Last year, when the Bulls won their second championship in a row, rowdy fans tore up Chicago. This year, Michael Jordan and coach Phil Jackson are taking to the airwaves. They're asking the fans to keep the party under control. Of course, the Bulls still have to win one more game before any of their fans can celebrate at all.
So there is a persistent question amongst all of this, the stardom these days in sports. Are professional athletes role models for our kids? And if so, should they be? Well, there's at least one professional athlete who says absolutely not. He wants kids to wake up, to look elsewhere for role models. And as Channel 3's Maurice Dubois explains in tonight's special assignment, Charles Barkley has some pretty strong words for parents as well.
Not a role model.
It's vintage Charles Barkley.
I'm not paid to be a role model.
In the camera, in your face.
Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
See, Charles said it right.
I think it's a cop-out because you're given that position, and you know you're given that position.
I think he's been more honest than a lot of other athletes.
The debate is raging between young people and adults, from playgrounds to boardrooms, where the central question is, should professional athletes be role models?
You want to make something of your life like they did. You know, you look at your parents like me, and they made nothing of their life, so then I look at people like them, and then, you know, they're superstars, they're athletes. Why not want to be like them?
Ivan Bracey was raised by his sisters and grandmother.
Nobody in the ghetto is a lawyer, a doctor.
So you're saying it's easier to become an athlete than a lawyer?
I think so.
But the numbers portray a different ball game. There are 720,000 lawyers in the United States, 653,000 doctors, and professional basketball players, 324.
Peanuts, small numbers. Kids should not be given that kind of a false illusion. You better practice reading and writing and arithmetic and all the things that are necessary to hold down a decent job and then to be productive.
But learning is not what most athletes sell.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A basketball player.
But then you might be like Mike, though, huh?
No, I'll be better than him.
Reality set in probably my senior year.
Nathan Cox once thought he might be like Mike. It wasn't long ago that he played college basketball at Loyola Marymount with visions of turning pro. But he used his free education to get on the career track. And now he's an assistant vice president at Wells Fargo Bank.
I'd rather be Michael Jordan's agent because, yes, Michael Jordan makes about $3.5 million a year on salary from the Chicago Bulls, and he makes about $20 million in endorsements. But Michael Jordan's management company, they have a whole pool of Michael Jordans that they're pulling from.
And for the few who do make it to the pros, there's the afterlife. Gerald Wilhite played football for the Denver Broncos. Now he owns Spice's Barbecue Restaurant. He says Charles Barkley's ad is way off the mark.
To say I don't want to be a role model would be saying I don't want the position as a professional athlete, because you know that comes with it, of being a role model, because kids who emulate you will look up to you, will worship you, basically.
Charles is more or less saying, hey, I ain't perfect. I'm not this and I'm not that. So don't put me up there. I'm a human just like everybody else.
Barkley hasn't said how much he's getting paid to proclaim that he's not a role model. And it's not clear if all this attention is selling any more shoes. But if the goal was to get people talking, the ad is a success.
Parents should be role models.
On special assignment, Maurice Dubois, Channel 3 reports.
We now know what will happen to the Air Force general who publicly insulted President Clinton. Details are coming up when the primetime news continues.
This segment of tonight's news is sponsored by Sears Optical. Satisfaction guaranteed.
America's switching to Sears Optical.
I switch. Because I want what's best for my eyes.
I switch. For the savings. Right now at Sears Optical, save 50% on our entire collection of best name frames when you purchase lighter, thinner, ultralight lenses.
I switch. It's Sears. It's guaranteed. It's fast. I can charge it.
Save 50% on all our best name frames. Hurry to Sears Optical today.
I switched.
Senator Ford has more 93 F-Series and Rangers than most dealers. Senator Ford has rock-bottom prices on all 93 F-Series and Rangers. And now, during the truck sale, all new 93 F-Series and Ranger trucks are on sale. We've got 10 F-150 trucks at just $99.88, or 20 Ranger XLT Super Cabs with all this equipment, just $99.88. At these prices, they won't last. So see Senator Ford on Florin Road between I-5 and Highway 99, where we will not be undersold.
It isn't fair. Day after day, you pay more than you should. Now you can pay low warehouse prices for name brand foods, office supplies, electronics, everything. Now you have the buying power of big business. You have the Pace card. Join Pace Membership Warehouse. Total satisfaction. Guaranteed.
Come to our 2 newly opened Sacramento warehouses.
When you were a child, you were told we're all created equal. But now that you're a little older, you see things a bit differently. The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It rides smoother and corners better than the BMW 540i and the Mercedes 300e. Maybe we are all created equal, but it doesn't have to stay that way. See your Lexus dealer for treatment that's unequal.
An Air Force general has lost his job for publicly insulting President Clinton during a speech he gave. Major General Harold Campbell called the president a pot-smoking, draft-dodging womanizer at a ceremony in the Netherlands last month. Pentagon brass announced today that Campbell is going to retire and accept a fine and a letter of reprimand as his punishment.
Encouraging news from the state capitol. Lawmakers hope to break the budget deadlock this weekend. Today, Governor Wilson met with key members of the Senate and Assembly to talk about a possible compromise plan. That proposal could go to the Budget Conference Committee tomorrow, but a few issues still have to be resolved.
Provides for a 6-month extension of the sales tax for local government's benefit, and it also provides for an election, I believe, in November. That would be the other part of that puzzle, so it's more than just a 6 months extension.
I don't think we ought to move any tax increases ahead of spending cuts. Spending cuts ought to be the first programs we move, and we ought to put a budget package together and move that before you move a tax increase.
If the plan gets out of committee, the legislature has scheduled a vote Sunday night.
In Tuolumne County, trial dates are set now for the accused vigilante killer Ellie Nesler. Nesler is accused of murdering the man who allegedly molested her son. She has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Today, about a dozen supporters greeted Nesler outside the courtroom. Her trial is scheduled to begin in mid-July. A second court date was set for September to determine if she is medically or mentally competent, or if she was at least at the time of the shooting.
A fire is still smoldering tonight near one of America's most majestic land parks, the Grand Canyon. Wildfire has scorched more than 1,900 acres near the north rim of the canyon in northern Arizona. Tonight, crews are dousing hot spots, turning over dirt to make sure that every ember is out. Some 600 firefighters from Arizona and neighboring states were called in to put out this fire. Investigators believe that it was started by people.
Father's Day isn't the day to ask why dads do things like this or eat things like this. It's the day to give him a great gift from Mervyn's Father's Day sale. Save on Docker's shirts, pants, and shorts, all dress shirts from Cambridge Classics, Arrow, and Van Heusen, and Cambridge Classics polos at the lowest price of the season. Shop Mervyn's Father's Day sale and be his #1 fan, even if he does things like this.
Everybody has their own idea of value. At Chevrolet, this is ours. The Chevy S10 Tahoe. It's a rock-solid value with standard rear-wheel anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo with cassette, and a powerful V6 engine. For less than the price of a 4-cylinder Ford Ranger XLT. Right now with Blackout Package, it's yours for under 10 grand.
See the Chevy S10 Tahoe at your local Chevrolet Geo dealers today.
Look, up in the air. It's a bird. It's a plane. Nope. It's just Dave Zimmerman, owner of Zimmerman Roofing. Dave's a Pactel Cellular customer because Pactel Cellular always nails the job, just like Dave. In fact, more people in a recent survey rated Pactel Cellular #1 for local coverage, call clarity, and reliability. So, for the best roof, call Dave. For the best cellular service, call us. Pactel Cellular. You can't beat the system.
This is KCRA-TV, the home of Live Copter 3.
Weather-wise, what is there to say, but why can't we make it cool at night at least?
We're working on that.
Why can't we? What is this reason you have?
I know, it's on to something now. Hot, gonna stay hot, at least for the next couple of days. We're working on cooling it down though, honest to goodness. There's been quite a few requests for that, by the way. At least if it's gonna be hot during the day, cool it down so we can get a good night's sleep. Let's check the current conditions. It has cooled down significantly. If you can see how high it was today at 104, now 78, so that's a little better. Winds from the southwest at 9 miles an hour. In Stockton, clear skies, 82 degrees. Winds from the west at 12, and Modesto also reporting a warm one, 84, north winds at 8. Ended up, as I mentioned, 104 downtown, 101 in Stockton and Marysville, Yuba City, 86 over in San Francisco, and for them, that's very, very hot. San Jose, 98, Merced, 101, and up at South Lake Tahoe, an afternoon high of 77. Here's a look at the forecast highs across the country, and many places across the country are expecting showers and thunder showers, a bit severe at times. Denver, Kansas City, Chicago, Minneapolis, and New Orleans, also New York, all gearing up for showers and thunder showers. So if by chance you're flying cross country tomorrow, could be a little bit on the bumpy side in certain places. What has not been rain falling in parts of Colorado has been snow in the higher elevations. Oh sure, this guy has the right idea, bicycling in the snow. The higher elevations received anywhere between 2 and 4 inches of snow today and tonight. This is a little late in the season, even in Colorado. The National Weather Service is reporting also that they're expecting some more snow tomorrow morning. Lots of tropical activity going on for you. We have what is now the remnants of Tropical Depression Adrian, followed closely now by Tropical Storm Beatrice. And you can see it off the tip here of Mexico. Over in the Gulf of Mexico, there is a Tropical Depression 2, and this particular tropical depression is expected to give parts of Texas some very heavy rain over the weekend. By tomorrow morning, that tropical depression will more than likely be a tropical storm, so they'll be watching it very closely. For us, West Coast satellite map shows the ridge of high pressure is locked in solid and will stay so at least through the weekend. The one bit of relief we are going to start to see Sunday, but especially Monday, the southwest delta winds are going to kick in as this frontal system moves into Washington and Oregon, and we're finally going to cool down. In the meantime, sunshine in the morning, partly cloudy in the afternoon over the Sierra. Foothills, you're looking for plenty of sunshine and plenty of heat, just in case you didn't get enough of it yesterday and today. Bay Area will see quite a bit of low cloudiness and fog in the morning along the immediate coast, burning off to afternoon sunshine. Here in the valley, we're looking for highs tomorrow between 97 at Fairfield-Vacaville, 102 downtown. Extended forecast, bring on the Delta breezes. We're going to see a cooling trend toward the end of the weekend, especially into Monday and Tuesday. In the meantime, Saturday and Sunday, a little bit on the hot side. Have a great weekend. Ron Hyde is standing by with sports. How about that game tonight? He's got details coming up.
The people that work here were really looking for me to find out what it is I really needed.
There's a lot of salespeople that help me out, that always point me in the right direction.
Now, during Orchard's summer event, save on Ames American-made garden tools. Choose the square or round point shovels, bow rake, or garden hoe, now just $9.99 each. And you'll find industrial-duty 24-inch brooms from Harper. 3 different styles for heavy, coarse, or fine sweeping, just $19.99. Orchard is
the world's most complete hardware store.
How do you define value? Is it just a great price? Or does value mean getting a truck with the best mileage, the best resale value, and more standard horsepower than Ford? That's the way Chevrolet defines a rock-solid value. And right now, there's no finer example than the Chevy CK. Oh, and for that great price, go see your local Chevrolet Geo dealers for that today.
Tonight's sports is sponsored by Shell.
Little things slowing you down? You're looking at highly magnified intake valve deposits. Even tiny deposits like this can rob your car's power and performance. That's why Shell is introducing its cleanest gasoline ever, Formula Shell. All 3 grades reduce harmful deposits other gasolines can leave behind. Formula Shell, a very big reason to go with the world's best-selling gasoline. Shell, miles ahead.
Game 5 tonight, do or die for Phoenix. A win by the Suns would send it back to Phoenix for Games 6 and possibly Game 7. A Bulls victory would give them 3 straight titles. Would allow Coach Phil Jackson to go to that Grateful Dead concert on Saturday night in Chicago. Michael Jordan, he didn't want to send it back to Phoenix, so he scored 41 points. We ain't going back to Phoenix, said Michael Jordan. But KJ said, yes, you are. With a 3-point play, it would give the Suns a 9-point lead late, and they go on to win it in thrilling fashion. So, hey, Charles, is it early for the authorities in Phoenix to start boarding up the windows there like they did in Chicago?
We're civilized in Phoenix. We won't riot.
There's ex-Chicagoans living there, though.
Them just the rich Chicagoans who move there, want a home.
I mean, Charles is a very positive thinker, and so are we. And I understand his positive thinking, but we're here to say that his destiny is to have a long summer thinking about what he should have or would have done.
Charles, a final message to the people of Chicago as you head back west now?
Take that off the windows.
Get it, Charles. Giants in the Astrodome against Houston. Top of the 6th, Royce Clayton right up the middle. Will Clark comes around to score. Barry Bonds coming around the corner. Will's directing traffic. No, he's telling him slide down, down, down. But Barry doesn't slide. He just steps on, and he hears about it when he gets back to the dugout from Dusty Baker for not sliding. The Giants still had a 4-0 lead, but he is Barry Bonds. He can get away with that kind of stuff. Bud Black goes 7 2/3 for his 6th win. The Giants now 37-0 when they have the lead after 8 innings. They win this one. They're now 7.5 ahead of Atlanta, which lost to Montreal. First place KC Royals in Oakland this afternoon. After the second, the A's down by 8 runs, but Oakland battles back. Bottom of the 7th, score 9-8 KC. Craig Paquette smashes this one over the left field fence, his second of the year, and the A's with a huge comeback. They take the first of 3, 10-9 the final from the Coliseum. And as we close out the week, time for the Deadbeat Club. Walt Gray along now with some gaffes by some of our peers in sports announcing, including a fellow colleague of mine from my CNN days.
Okay, time to Deadbeat fellow announcers. Here's NBC's Hannah Storm with a sideline update.
Welcome back to America West Arena. Kevin Johnson apparently having some problems.
Hannah, the game is at Chicago Stadium, not America West Arena. But that's not nearly as bad as A's announcer Dick Stockton, who spins a confusing tale about Frank Thomas of the White Sox, who's always played for the White Sox.
Says he holds no bitterness for the Kansas City Royals who gave up on him. He's not that kind of a guy. Or I'm thinking of Bo Jackson. So just forget that.
What media guide is Dick reading? And finally, are saves in baseball given out on the cheap or what? Lee Smith of the Cubs came in the 9th inning yesterday with an 11-8 lead. He gave up a 2-run homer and 2 singles, and the Cards escaped with an 11-10 win. Smith got a save for that mess he created. Why? He came closer to blowing it than saving it. Change the cheap rules on saves, deadbeats.
Well, much like the tradition of the running of the bulls in Spain, these bulls and their fans will have to wait to overturn cars and loot in Chicago at least a couple more days.
And take the stuff off the windows.
That's right.
That's not exactly what he said, but close enough.
Yeah.
It'll do for family television. Thank you, Ron. Inside Edition is next. News Brief at 11.
We'll see you back in just a half an hour.